Hi, I'm Tom Schurbridge, and welcome to So You Want to Be a Screenwriter. Today we're going to look at character, because movies ride on the back of characters. Look at these clips and think about that.
Why am I not right, Mr. Carlyle?
Well, I'm just trying to make a certain statement here, and I'm looking for a very specific physical type.
Mr. Carlyle, I'm an actress. I'm a character actress. I can play this part any way you want.
Honey, I'm sure that you're
Why
a
don't you
very,
give me an
very
idea
good
what you're
actress.
looking
It's just
for?
that you're a little bit too soft
What?
and genteel. You're not threatening enough.
Not threatening enough? How's this? You take your hands off me, or I'm gonna knead your balls right through the roof of your mouth. Is that enough of a threat?
To start?
Yes, I think I know what y'all really want. You want some gross caricature of a woman to prove some idiotic point, like power makes women masculine, or masculine women are ugly. Well, shame on the woman that lets you do that, on any woman that lets you do that. And that means you, dear. Miss Marshall, shame on you, you macho shithead.
Caddos are Kiowas, huh? Ain't but one tribe uses a lance like that.
Hey, Pa, your prize bull. Killed every one of them. Not for food, either. Why'd they do a thing like that?
Stealing the cattle was just to pull us out. This is a murder raid. Shapes up to scald out either your place or my brother's.
Mama, Lori. Oh, please, God. Please, no. Brad, son!
Most screenwriters fail when they create characters. They create, very often, one of three kinds: cliche, cardboard, or boring. And all three of them kill your story. So thinking about character and learning how to develop real, authentic characters is really one of the keystones in becoming a successful screenwriter. When you think of the famous stories, very often we recall the character first, and then the plot and other elements later. This guy, Bill Shakespeare, seemed to create a lot of really terrific characters. And there's a wonderful story about a convention on the character Hamlet in the 1970s, I think, in Wales. And during one of the discussions about motivation of the character Hamlet, two senior scholars got into a fist fight. Now, should you create a character that 400 years later people are prepared to fight about, you've got real talent. So where does this come from? How did Shakespeare create so many wonderful fools, villains, queens, kings, knaves? It's because he thought about the human character, about who we are as people and what drives us. And that's what you have to do too. You have to start becoming a real student of the human being. The thing that you have to look at is the fact that we are a product of all that we have met, which is a line from Shelley's famous poem. And it's true that all of the elements that have created us as a unique person here today are a sum total of experiences, people, events, intended, unintended, accidents, intentions. And so that's what you have to do with your character. All of them. You have to give them backstories. You have to give them a real life. You have to make them come alive and make them believable. So what makes a story work then? Well, fundamentally, it's a character who's after a goal, either a very obvious one or a subconscious one. But they have to have something that they want to achieve in this drama. And we, the audience, are going to care about whether or not they find that goal. So the clearly defined goal is very important for characters. And then you have to create a series of obstacles that keep this character from achieving those goals. And these obstacles have to be not just something that you dream up and throw in because it's exciting or interesting, but rather something that grows organically out of the story, out of the character, out of the time, the era, the place, so that it's really believable. Those are the only obstacles that really, really work. When you look at a story like Raiders of the Lost Ark, okay, Very simple, larger than life character who has to overcome obstacles to get his goal, which is to find the Ark. But he has to overcome other archaeologists, falling in love with the wrong woman, going to dangerous places, and of course, if you know the story, snakes. So that's what makes great characters. Things that reveal who they are. And what are the revelation of character? Well, there are 5 elements. One of them, what characters do, very, very revealing. What they don't do, also very revealing. What they say, what they don't say, and fifthly, what other people say about them. So that's how we learn about people. That's how we learn about characters. So as you are developing your characters, you are developing a world into which they are going to act their lives. And that's where research comes in. And again, many beginning screenwriters fail because they don't do the research. What you have to do is to imagine the world that they're going to be in. Because the 1920s in Harlem is a little bit different than Fifth Avenue Saks in New York today, okay? Kind of a simple example. But believe it or not, some people do those kinds of things. So they have anachronisms, they have inaccuracies, they have things that don't fit, that don't make sense, because they haven't done their research. Really good writers read the newspapers of the day. They listen to broadcasts. They read the history. They figure out the sociology. Some of them even work out the prices of everything so that they know exactly what their character's going through when they're making each and every decision. They're living in a real world, a world that you, the writer, are in charge of and know very well, and hence it will come across as a real world to other people. Secondary characters. Again, this is a real failing of beginning writers. They just plunk them in because they say, oh, that would be nice if they had a girlfriend, had a buddy who had a bad boss, who will interfere or will contribute to their lives. Doesn't work. These people, secondary characters, have to be very organic to the story as well. And they have to have a story arc of their own. They have to have their own goals, dreams, desires, wants, needs, okay? Just like your major character. So that when we see them for however long they're going to be on the screen, they are going to be authentic. And that's what you're really looking for in this field, is authenticity, believability. I think I mentioned it before, but it can't be said enough. Because of the medium, we do have to believe. We have to believe in human characteristics, and so that stories about robots and about animals are really about human beings. Nemo is not the story of a fish looking for his mom, okay? Or for his dad. He is a child who is handicapped, a small child, that we identify with, and we go on his wonderful adventures with him. We believe him, we care for him, we have empathy for him, and that's why Nemo is such a great character and will more than likely never be forgotten in the halls of cinema excellence. So when you're starting your story, be sure that you know who you're going to live with for the next 3 or 4 months. This character must breathe inside you. You must believe in them. You must see the world through their eyes, through their heart, through their mind, through their soul, because that's what an audience expects. So when you give them a name, when you give them a place, when you give them a time, give them a full human existence. That way, maybe your characters will be remembered in 400 years as well.